It started as a dream, the view, the peaceful mornings, the riverside breeze, until the river decided to rise. Hi, and welcome to Real Estate Intels, where we help you make smarter property decisions with real facts, expert insights, and compelling stories. Today, we're diving into the truth behind buying property in a flood zone in Australia. Before you fall in love with that riverside cottage or that picturesque bushland block, pause. Flood zones are classified areas that are vulnerable to inundation based on historical flood data, rainfall modelling, and elevation. In Australia, flood risk is typically measured using probabilities, 1 in 100-year flood, meaning there's a 1% chance of a major flood in any given year, 1 in 20-year flood, higher risk, more frequent low flood risk zones, generally safe but not immune. You can check your property's risk level using the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, BOM, or your local council's flood mapping tools. Some councils even offer detailed flood risk management studies for individual suburbs. Don't guess. Check the map, download the flood reports, and read the fine print. Let me tell you a quick story. Angela bought a lovely home in Ipswich. The agent told her it's only flooded once in 50 years. 3 months after moving in, her living room was underwater. She lost furniture, had to redo her floors, and waited 6 months for repairs. The home's value dropped by 15%. With climate change, flood patterns are changing. Rainfall intensity is up, storm surges are higher, and once safe areas are getting caught off guard. Floods can cause extensive property damage, financial strain if insurance doesn't cover you, long-term resale issues, unexpected repair and relocation costs. So when buying in a flood zone, do your due diligence. Request a property-specific flood report. Check development restrictions. Talk to the local council about mitigation history. Understand your building elevation and drainage design. Flood insurance in Australia is a whole different ballgame. Standard home policies might not protect you the way you think. Standard home insurance policies often exclude flood damage, especially in high-risk zones. But here's the twist. Some insurers offer optional flood cover, but at a premium. Others refuse flood coverage entirely if the property is flagged as high risk. You need to ask, what kind of flood is covered? Riverine, flash flood, storm surge? Before you buy, get quotes from multiple insurers. Ask for a product disclosure statement, PDS. Conduct a formal risk assessment. Disclose everything to avoid voided claims. When things go wrong, there's help, but it's often limited. Australia's government has several initiatives. Resilient Homes Fund, QLD, helps fund home raising, retrofitting, or even relocation. Disaster recovery payments, short-term financial relief after major events, flood mitigation grants for councils and communities to build levees, drains, and other infrastructure. You can also access resources for floodproofing, like elevating your home, installing backflow valves, and raising power outlets. But remember, support is reactive. Your planning needs to be proactive. Buying in a flood zone doesn't have to be a deal-breaker, but it must be a deliberate decision. Consider, is the property elevated or engineered to resist flooding? Are you financially equipped for insurance costs and possible repairs? Is the price discounted appropriately for the risk? Can you afford temporary relocation during an emergency? And most importantly, get the right advice. Consult with real estate agents with local flood experience, licensed building inspectors familiar with water-resistant construction, insurance brokers who specialize in high-risk properties. Flood zones carry risk, but with the right knowledge, tools, and support, they don't have to wash away your investment dreams. So before you sign that contract, ask the hard questions, investigate, plan, prepare. This is Real Estate Intels. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments. Stay smart, stay dry. See you next time.